HCC MovieMakers Academy Movie Reviews. My name is Sami Ismail.
My name is Nguyen.
And I'm Trey Dixon, and the three of us just saw Terminator Genisys. Terminator Genisys is the latest film in the Terminator franchise. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Emilia Clarke, Jai Courtney, Jason Clarke, J.K. Simmons, and Byung-Hun Lee. In this film, Kyle Reese is sent back into what can only be described as an alternate world line in order to protect Sarah Connor, but upon arriving discovers that she's already being protected by another Terminator, played yet again by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Soon the three of them team up and devise a plan to destroy Skynet before it ever even gets born. So, we all saw Terminator Genisys.
Trey, why didn't you like this movie?
Oh, wow.
Let's get right to it.
Okay, this movie is... This movie has all of the problems that sequels generally have, but my big issue with this film is the convoluted nature of its plot. You look back at the original Terminator film.
I still found it to be followable. You know,
you can follow it, but it didn't have to be...
At any point, I didn't feel like I was lost.
In the first film, we had a robot coming back in time to kill a person, and then another guy had to come back to protect her. Simple. Now in this film, Arnold Schwarzenegger gets sent back to when Sarah Connor was a small child. Therefore,
spoiler alert.
Well, it's kind of in the trailer. It doesn't matter. It's at the beginning of the movie.
And speaking of the trailers,
yeah, but we'll get to that in a second. So
Don't watch the trailer either, according to the trailer.
Yeah, the people who made the trailers for this movie should be ashamed of themselves. They give away every plot point. They give away every action set piece. They're terrible, but they send Arnold Schwarzenegger back in time to when Sarah Connor was a child, therefore creating a nexus which splinters off into an alternate world line. So, in order to properly understand this movie, you need to first let go of your understanding of time travel being a straight line and instead look at it as a rope with a bunch of different threads, and every time there's a nexus, you go over to another thread.
And do you remember to get rid of Terminator 1 and 2 in the process?
No, they hold on to 1. But 2 and 3 no longer count because they've completely erased the timeline.
Well, because of how they do it, it's kind of disrespectful to Terminator 1, so they pretty much retcon Terminator 1 as well, even though, plot-wise, don't get rid of it. You need to understand.
I'm sure that they were in the script meeting saying to themselves, wouldn't it be funny if modern Arnold Schwarzenegger went back in time and fought old Arnold Schwarzenegger? That'd make it great.
Was a cool fight scene.
It's actually a cool idea.
It was a cool fight
But they did it wrong.
They did it...
How did they do it wrong?
I mean...
It was really, really cool.
They did a great job with the...
CGI was amazing.
The CGI on old Arnold was pretty good.
It was an improvement
but
over
it was
Salvation.
a very dull fight. We had Arnold charge forward, and the fight ended when Emilia Clarke shot a bullet, and it was over. So...
Admittedly, it could have been better.
And that's also the problem that I have with Genisys as well. And Genisys is being directed by Alan Taylor, who's known for Game of Thrones, or his last feature film that he made is Thor: The Dark World. And as you can see, Thor, it's the first one. It has charm. It's entertaining. It has its own thing going on.
Sammy and I have a differing opinion about Thor.
Well, personally,
no, we are different from you in that regard. We feel the same way about Thor.
Anyway, I do have a bigger problem with Thor: The Dark World. It's just because there's just this deliberate measuredness to it. It goes by very slowly, on purpose. That happens in Genisys as well. Even
I thought it was very fast paced.
I didn't care about anything that was happening in this movie. Because no time...
I didn't either, but it was a fun... I thought it was a fun movie.
The idea of going into a sequel solely for the purpose of seeing the sequel, recognizing that it's probably not going to be as great as the original,
admittedly, it wasn't.
That's a negative attitude to have.
I think the only reason why this movie was really made was because they could have Arnold Schwarzenegger come back to her.
And because the rights, the battle for Terminator rights have been settled down, so they said, let's make Terminator 5.
If I can quickly jump back to the plot real fast. There is a question that you constantly have throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
What
is this question?
Why is Arnold back already protecting Sarah Connor? How did he get there? And they do address this in the movie, but they address it by Arnold saying it's classified. And to me, that sounds like the screenwriters saying, okay, well, we can't figure out why he's there, So whatever problems we have in this movie, we'll just go ahead and put in the sequel.
Yeah,
But-
it's just they're already prepping up for the sequel when they don't know how much this is.
This movie opened
yeah.
at like number 4, and it's been sinking ever since. This movie is turning into a bona fide flop, and I think they will be very lucky if they end up making a sequel.
They were trying to do another Jurassic Uprising,
I
but
mean,
it turns out to be.
I don't see them making another movie.
They have a lot of things up in the air with this film. Like, how did Arnold get there? Why is J.K. Simmons in this movie?
What's Matt Smith doing in it?
Yeah, they cast Matt Smith as the personification of Skynet to get the Who's from Whoville in on the action. But I think that they threw him in there so that there could be more of him in a later installment. You have all these questions about, well, why is Arnold there? Is J.K. Simmons going to serve a purpose? Why did they cast Matt Smith? But at the same time, they tie everything up in a little bow at the end. It almost seems like they wanted to make a sequel, but they wrote themselves into a hole where there's no real way they can make a real sequel.
And that's also the problem with Prometheus as well. It puts a lot of seeds for the sequels in the first film, but it just doesn't really go anywhere.
And just like in a way that you couldn't see a sequel happening.
Not necessarily. Like the third one was like a big sequel whore. The third film ended with them hiding in a bunker, waiting for Judgment Day to happen, and that led directly into Salvation. And Salvation was a mess. We won't bring up Salvation, but
it was damnation.
What I liked about this movie was Arnold Schwarzenegger coming back. He sort of just, his character sort of accepts that he's going to be made fun of, and he goes about with that.
There are a couple attempts at humor.
But
I thought it was funny.
I didn't.
No, not even a snicker.
No, I was.
In the theater, I saw everyone laughing.
You see how I'm sitting
yes.
right now? That's how I was throughout the whole movie.
Okay, that's nice to know. But everyone in the theater I was watching with was laughing. They weren't like gagging, but they were really
I would like
laughing.
to meet these
They were
people.
enjoying. Okay, Trey.
Fun.
I'll set up a meeting.
Final thoughts about Terminator before we close
It wasn't a groundbreaking story. It wasn't. It was funny. It was entertaining. I generally enjoyed every part of it.
So on a scale from 1 to 10,
How would you?
7.5.
7.5. Nguyen, what about you?
Well, this is the 5th Terminator movie, right?
Yeah.
I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
Wow.
That's pretty good, actually. I like that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. The movie is convoluted and messy, and it's something that I failed to mention is that the actors are pretty terrible in the movie. I don't know if Emilia Clarke is good in Game of Thrones because I haven't.
she tried. She tried the best with the material that's given.
She's got nothing on Linda Hamilton.
Jason, obviously that lady that woman is a legend already. Emilia Clarke tried. Jason Clarke tried. Jai Courtney, what are you doing there?
Jai Courtney's probably a nice guy, but he can't act his way out of a wet paper bag. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a.
Nobody can act in this movie. Even Arnold.
Arnold's the best part of the movie, but this is the role that he was born to play.
Yes, exactly.
I think this is the only part he can play. I give it a 4. I'll give it the same as you. This movie's a mess. Don't see it. If you have seen it, I'm sorry. Thank you for watching HCC MovieMakers Academy movie reviews. We're brought to you by the HCC MovieMakers Academy We'll just cut back to this. Thank you for watching HCC MovieMakers Academy movie reviews. We're brought to you by the Houston Community College Filmmaking Program and HCC TV. Visit us on the web at www.hccs.edu. Enroll yourself in the art of filmmaking. Check out our YouTube channel and subscribe if you would like to see more reviews just like this one. We've reached 100 videos. No one cares. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
We really love you.